What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? It's your boy, JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network and channel, giving a shout out to the rest of the crew. For everyone who's tuning in, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel. Help make the show the best that it can be. And I want to delve into this one. It's it's feeling like, as they say, this is the crucible. This is the crucible. And when it comes to the NBA, when it comes to the purple and gold, the Los Angeles Lakers, they better not even think about trading any of their current young players on this team. They better not even think about it. Because if they do it again, if they go down this path again and siphon off their young talent who they drafted and flip around and try to bring in a third star for you know who, the Hurricane, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Because if a scenario did happen where any of these young players who they drafted and brought in or included in the trade, that trade is going to have to be facilitated with draft picks that we no longer have. In terms of, we don't have any more draft picks to give away. And this is why GM Rob Pelinka has not made any trades since that team overhaul midway of the 22-23 season. And I don't understand why more fans, or just basketball fans in general, who constantly criticize the man, why he has not made another trade since that time. And he shouldn't have to. He's literally facilitated 15 years worth of moves and acquisitions and trades and condensed that into 6 seasons. So there is a 9-year void that will be left over. You can't rely on free agents because most of these young stars in the league, they have re-upped with their current team with 4 or 5 year extensions. And this is why when you watch the performance of these young players last night, when the Lakers took on the Golden State Warriors on Christmas Day in a tough battle down the stretch when Steph Curry went nuts and was hitting every shot known to man. But for the Lakers' last possession, the ball did not, let me put it this way, they did not make the call for the Hurricane to take the last shot. No, because since he was brought to the franchise, he is 4 for 34 and go-ahead shot attempts at the end of a game. 434, that's 11%. So they know he's not a closer. They know that. And they played a Golden State team that specializes in small ball. They're not the same team. They had a championship run. But for the Lakers to survive as a franchise, they must hold on to these young players. Austin Reaves in his 4th season, having the best year of his career. Max Christie in his 3rd year, he's starting to emerge as a talent. 3rd year out of Michigan State, drafted in the 2nd round. Austin Reaves was undrafted. Out of, I believe it was Oklahoma State. And then you have Dalton Knecht out of the University of Tennessee. 4-year rookie, mind you. Well, 4-year college player, mind you. In his rookie season, he's averaging about 10 points a game. Max Christie being inserted into the starting lineup as of late, he's giving you about 12 points a game. And Austin Reaves is averaging 17 points a game. And that last play last night for the Lakers, intuition said they're going to get the ball to Austin Reaves because he was hitting the big shots down the stretch. And lo and behold, He had the basketball in his hands. The fate of the game was in his hands, and he delivered. And this is why I always say it don't matter what superstars from the outside that you have on the team. Your real players will always be the driving force. Always. Always. Because they have a greater sense of pride anyway because they were drafted. So in their minds, they're not thinking, oh man, I'm signing as a free agent. Perfect example, Shaquille O'Neal signed as a free agent back in 1996. And mind you, Shaquille O'Neal himself, he was still a young player, 4 years with the Orlando Magic. Shaq was 25 years old when the Lakers signed to an 8-year deal. But the aspirations of the franchise moving to the future and building a new championship team and a new era of Lakers success, it all hinged on a young man who they brought to the franchise at the age of 18 by the name of Kobe Bean Bryant. When Kobe Bean Bryant ascended and emerged as a superstar, full-fledged superstar, which was really his third full season in the NBA because his official third year, that was during the lockout season when the NBA only had 50 games that year. So in Kobe's third full season, which was 1999-2000, once he emerged and became a full-fledged superstar, that's when he and Kobe started their championship run of 3 straight titles, 2000, 2001, 2002. You always need your own players. And the way Max Christie is emerging, the way Austin Reaves has excelled as an undrafted player, and then rookie Dalton Knecht, the best shooter in his draft, and it just shows what I've been saying all along. The Lakers scouting department is second to none. The Lakers scouting department is what's keeping this franchise together. It's not the Hurricane. It's not that. Because if the Hurricane was the true driving force, they would have a way better winning percentage over these past 6 years than what they have. Right? Outside of the 1 year that turned into the bubble, this team has a winning percentage of 50.4%. That's mediocre, considering the fact that you're supposed to be in all-time win-now mode. But for this franchise to stabilize itself, once this is all done and the Hurricane moves on his way, and probably AD too, Anthony Davis, who suffered an ankle sprain last night, the outcome of this game between the Lakers and Golden State, who the Lakers won by the score of 115-113, is because of the young talent. Matter of fact, the team is only 4 games over 500, but Dalton Knecht won a game for them the start of the season. Max Christie won a game for them after he was inserted into the starting lineup with his defensive pressure on the perimeter. Austin Reaves, he has won a game for them last night. So in all actuality, if it wasn't for these 3 players, instead of 4 games over 500, there'd probably be after 30 games, it's quite possible that they could easily be 2 games under 500. You see what I'm saying? So imagine, this is why I've been arguing for the real young core all this time. Imagine, this is why I say you have to give your young talent time to develop. Imagine if they would have stuck with Brandon Ingram. Instead of averaging 18 points a game his third year, having to play with the Hurricane, and he would have the opportunity to fully grow as a player in his third season, he's going to average not 18 points a game, but 22 points a game. I guarantee it. It's not even a doubt in my mind. You keep Randall instead of letting him walk to free up cap space. You keep Randall, a left-hand facilitator, a bulldog, right? And There's a lot of criticism about Randall, about his attitude or whatnot. I believe his attitude, or was perceived as a negative attitude, is because of the fact he was told that if he did everything that the front office wanted him to do, that he would be rewarded. You see what I'm saying? He played all 82 games this last year for the Lakers, and he was rewarded by them letting him walk. I've never seen that before. Kuzma, you let Kuzma develop with his knack for hitting big shots at the end of games. You let Josh Hart continue to develop as a 3-and-D wing coming off the bench. Look what he's doing for the Knicks. Look what he's contributing for the Knicks. Look what Brandon Ingram has been contributing for the Pelicans, even with the franchise player, missing a whole season or half a season. Ingram has led their team to the playoffs twice. Jordan Clarkson, 6th man of the year for Utah, helped them clinch that number 1 seed in the 21 campaign. Zubac, who just dropped a 20-piece special the other night versus number 2 seeded Memphis Grizzlies. You see what I'm saying? Developing into, and he's probably going to get most improved player. Zubac, most improved player, and the way he's playing, would it be a surprise if he got the All-Star nod as an alternate to Nikola Jokic? I can easily see it happening. So imagine if you let that real young core, the original young core, develop. Okay, so most of them are going to, by the time year 2021 hit, they're in their like 4th, 5th year, right? 23, 24 years old, right? And then you maintain the progression of the team in the future by bringing in the reinforcements, by bringing in the Austin Reaves, by bringing in the Max Christies, by bringing in the Dalton Knechts. They always say what the Lakers don't have. No, what they mean is the Lakers have what they need. They had what they need all along. Outside of one final piece was that star free agent. But homegrown wise, they had it all. When they say the Lakers don't have enough, what they're really saying is they don't have enough for LeBron, for the Hurricane to win immediately. That's what they're saying. And that's why the team is so discombobulated. Because of the perception that they don't have enough. But what's really happening is they've been sacrificing their own to try to bring in star players, to try to get a quick manufactured ring for this guy, so they can continue this worthless, meaningless, undeserved debate. All-time manufactured. You see, that's what's going on. But if they had stayed the course with that original young core, and you constantly bringing in more young talent because you have all your draft picks, oh man, you ain't got to take no crap off the Hurricane. You ain't got to draft his son who's not qualified to be in the NBA. It don't matter what he do in the G League. I know he had a couple games where he had, they was going crazy because he scored 20-some points. That's in the G League. And the team they was playing was one of the worst teams in the G League. You see, you would have to be dealing with all this drama and all this unnecessary stress and whatnot, because you would have had your own squad, and it would have been a beautiful thing to see. And instead of being 4 games over 500, instead of missing the playoffs twice in the previous 6 years with this guy on the team, the Los Angeles Lakers, because I have studied the entire metric. I've studied all these players, their strengths, not their, I would call it attributes. Not looking at what they can't do, but looking at what their strengths and how they can contribute to the team's success. They had a center play. They had a stretch. They had a center who could stretch the floor and shoot the 3 in Thomas Bryant. You have your facilitator at the 4, left-handed, a more offensive-laden version of Draymond Green and Julius Randle. You had your point guard, Lonzo Ball. He is a prototype from the Jason Kidd point guard style of play. You had the mid-range assassin in B.I. You had the best pound-for-pound rebounder in the NBA in Josh Hart. And you had a six-man with the mentality of a superstar down the stretch of games at Kuzma. Then you had a natural born six-man a year in Jordan Clarkson. And you can always bring in a free agent to fill a hole, primarily coming off the bench. This team, instead of having a 50.4% winning percentage over the past 6 years, by the time the new decade would have hit, around 2021, this team would have been averaging 58 wins per season. 58 wins per season. I've studied the metric. I spent a great deal of time assessing these players because the Lakers are not going to get this opportunity again to draft that much talent over a 4-year period. This is why you needed to keep them. Because once all this over, man, once the dude's finally gone, you know, Lakers cannot afford to go down this route again. No franchise can afford to go down this route again. And now we are seeing the importance of young talent. Now we're seeing the importance of it. So when Cats told me early on, when they was siphoning off all that young talent for the Lakers, that the Lakers didn't need young players, man, I wanted to chuckle. I was upset because how can fans be led to believe that lunacy? Because that's what that is. Like I said, whether you're starting all over again or you're at the top, you have to, when you draft, you're not drafting veterans, you're drafting young players to replenish your team. That's the only way professional sports leagues can survive and maintain. That's the fundamental, that's the lifeblood of sports, is drafting young players when it comes to team sports. So I never believed that for one notion. Talking heads who pushed for them to be kicked out and traded, they had to convince people that the young core of the Lakers wasn't no good and were expendable. And they've been scrambling since outside that 1 year. That's why fans keep on harping on that 1 year that turned out to be the bubble, because they think that was the magic formula. But it really wasn't. It never was. Because to get that 1 year, you had to mortgage everything off. You see? And that's why they got a 50% winning percentage, 50.4 winning percentage outside the bubble. You see what I'm saying? Because the first year with the Hurricane, they finished 8 games under 500. Not over 500, under 500. So the progress, the real progress of the team was stunted. So I want to give kudos to Austin Reaves because I know what he can do. And it's exciting to see Max Christie progressing as a player. See, I get a joy out of watching my real players grow every year and get better. That's what you call, that's a natural reaction of being a fan. And if you're going to go this route and draft one of the dumb players, well, this is what's going to be required. It's going to be required patience and understanding that it's not going to happen overnight. So imagine if we had our real young core, the right star player, our draft picks, and you constantly bringing in that on a yearly basis, you're replenishing, keeping because your foundation is set with the real young core, and I will just continue to build on it. At that point, it's going to be, you're going to stumble into greatness. You see what I'm saying? You're going to fall, everything will be in place for you to succeed for a decade. That's what I wanted as a fan after starting all over again. And it would not have taken as long as we thought once things get going when the new decade of the 2020s start. But instead we scrambled, talking about trades. And it's really amazing despite all those distractions of trade talks, that these young men are thriving because they want to represent the franchise. Just like the BIs wanted to do. Just like the Randalls wanted to do. Just like Lonzo wanted to do. Kuzma, Josh Hart, Zubats, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr. You see what I'm saying? Larry Nance Jr. was the energy guy coming off the bench with the high-flying dunks, the aerobatics, the block shots, jumping into the stands to save the ball, keep the ball in play. Those intangibles, man. You can't measure that based on stats. That's energy. That's energy, man. And we gave it all away. But I'm happy to see these young men thriving. I know what we have, and our scouting department is A1, the best of its kind. So I just want to drop that nugget. Until next time, JB for BTB, Behind the Bench.